Spotless Rose is blowing, small from a tender root.
Hello everyone, Ethan McGrath here on a cold, blustery, wintry day at my alma mater, UT Chattanooga, with a few words about my composition, A Spotless Rose. Though I wrote most of the piece back in 2015, I sketched it. I sketched the basic melody anyways, several years prior to that, and then abandoned it. And so the piece has a certain boyish innocence about it, which I don't altogether dislike. It owes a great deal to the English tradition. Certainly they have a rich heritage of Christmas carols in England, and was influenced by composers like Ralph Vaughan Williams, Herbert Howells, David Wilcox, John Rutter, and that lot. And the text, though I said an English translation by Catherine Winkworth, is of medieval German origin, and is said to be derived from the same source as Lo, how a rose ere blooming, which is perhaps a bit more widely known. Both texts have been frequently set by a wide variety of composers, and and both texts seek to underline this mystery of the incarnation, this paradox in it, with this metaphor of a rose mysteriously blooming in the dead of winter. And so these texts, that metaphor, I think, is very powerful, and has drawn a lot of composers to set it to music, and has made those texts very much enduring parts of the Christmas season. And some of you may be familiar with the text and settings by other composers. Herbert Howells' setting may be the best known. Recently, Paul Mealer, well, in the past few years anyway, he wrote a setting of it that's become quite popular. I think Ola Yelo recently wrote a setting. There are lots of settings out there, lovely settings. So one might ask, why would you feel the need to set this text again? Well, a lot of the extant settings of this text were relatively challenging for the choir. So required a fairly advanced group to do something like the Howells or the Mealer or whatever. And so I wanted to do something that would be accessible to a wider variety of ensembles, something that a parish church choir, say, or a high school choir could easily do and enjoy doing, but something that's nevertheless finely crafted, and something that would still appeal to professional choirs, collegiate choirs, and that sort of thing. And so I felt it perhaps wouldn't be a bad idea to do a setting myself. And this text is one of those timeless texts that just never seem to get old, and always seem to be fresh, and seem to offer new inspiration for any composer that comes to them seeking to clothe them in music anew. And that's what I've sought to do with my little folk-like setting of it. And I hope that you enjoy it, and I appreciate your interest in my compositions. Well, this is Ethan McGrath from Chattanooga, signing off.